Hello, my name is Miss Mary from the YMCA, and I'm very excited to be with you today. Today we're going to be reading the story called The Pumpkin Runner by Marcia Diane Arnold, pictures by Brad Sneed. Today's story comes to us from the Healthy Schools, Healthy Communities curriculum developed by the Michigan Fitness Foundation. Let's take a minute to take a peek at our cover. I'll bring it up close for you so you can see it. Take a look at the pictures, think about the title. Take a look at the back. I want you to think about what you think the story is going to be about today. Do you have any predictions or guesses what's going to happen in our story? Why is he running? Where is he running to? What's going to happen with the dog? What are they going to do with that pumpkin? I'm sure it's going to be about being healthy. What is that going to tell us? Think about your guess. Do you like to run? What are some other physical activities that you enjoy doing? Besides running, maybe. I like to play soccer. I like to go golfing. I like to ride my bike with my boys, my kids. I like to do lots of different things. When you exercise, who are you most often with? Who do you exercise with? I exercise a lot with my kids, and with my husband, sometimes my friends, or family, but a lot of times by myself too. Why do you need more to eat and drink when you are physically active? Why do you think? You need more energy to balance the energy used. So when you exercise, you use lots of energy. And when we eat and drink, we get more energy to be able to use that energy. Well, let's listen. Let's find out what's going to happen with this pumpkin runner and how is he going to exercise today. Here we go. The Pumpkin Runner by Marcia Diane Arnold, pictures by Brad Sneed. Nearly all the sheep ranchers in Blue Gum Valley rode horses or drove jeeps to check on their sheep, but Joshua Summerhays liked to run, with the yellow dog trailing behind him. Joshua had been running for 50 years, ever since he was 10 years old. That was the year his family planted a pumpkin patch behind their clapboard ranch house, where the sun sparkled through the eucalyptus trees near Blue Gum Creek. When the pumpkins had grown as round as a wombat's belly, young Joshua stopped by to enjoy a golden slice. He felt such an energy from the sun-filled pumpkin that he pulled on his orange gum boots, shuffled a dance in the dusty earth, and took off running, with the great-great-great-grandfather of Yellow Dog trailing behind. That day he ran 40 kilometers, all the way to Cockatoo Canyon, just to check on a newborn lamb. Must be the way the sun shines through the eucalyptus trees that gives the pumpkins that extra spark, Aunt Millie had said as she watched Joshua's dust trail. Now Joshua was getting up in years, and every January at the sheep rancher's Woolly Bully barbecue, the ranchers teased him. "You're getting mighty old to be running all over 10,000-acre sheep ranch," said Rancher Woodley. "When are you going to buy a Jeep?" Joshua smiled and shuffled his gum boots in the dust. "I like to run," he said. "As long as he's got pumpkins to eat, he'll keep running," added Aunt Millie. One day, Joshua and Yellow Dog were resting on the porch after a long run over to Bandicoot Creek, when the wind blew a newspaper smack into Joshua's face. When he opened his eyes, he read, "12th Annual Koala K Race, 900 kilometers, from Melbourne to Sydney, May 4th, $10,000 prize." "It's been a while since we visited the city, Yellow Dog," Joshua said. "We could use 2 cities and get in a little run as well." Yellow Dog thumped his tail against the wooden porch planks. Joshua packed a clean pair of overalls and his newest pair of gumboots for the run. Rancher Woodley offered his Jeep for the trip. "Mighty grateful, mate," said Joshua, piling the last pumpkin from his patch into the Jeep as Aunt Millie loaded her cooking tools. "Not sure I could carry all the pumpkins I'll need for a 900-kilometer run." The morning was still dark when Joshua pulled up to the runners' registration table in Melbourne. Mr. Manning, the race official, looked over his glasses at the lanky man driving the Jeep, the yellow dog sitting beside him, and the old woman snoring atop a pile of pumpkins. "You sure you're in the right place?" he asked. "If this is the Koala-K," answered Joshua, "I've come to run." Wanting to be friendly, Joshua and Yellow Dog introduced themselves to the 8 other runners, while Aunt Millie got a few more winks. "I've run 200 kilometers a week for 3 months training for this race," said Damien Dodgerel, raising one eyebrow at Joshua and looking down his long nose at Yellow Dog. "And you?" "I just check my herds from sun up to sundown," said Joshua. "I train every day with 300-pound weights," Damien continued, doing a one-handed push-up. "I carry an injured sheep in now and again," Joshua replied. Reporters pushed Joshua aside as they threw questions at Damien. Word was out he was a shoo-in to win. Joshua was shoved into Katerina Volta, who was gulping down a vial of purple liquid. "It's my specially formulated energy drink," she explained. "Katerina's secret power punch." At that moment, Mr. Manning stopped by. "We're setting up the food and water stops along the course. What can we take for you, Mr. Summerhays?" "That Jeep full of pumpkins should do," Joshua answered. "Just give Aunt Millie a map of the course." As starting time approached, Joshua changed into his fresh pair of overalls and clean boots. "Nylon shorts and running shoes are the usual attire for a runner," said Mr. Manning, staring at Joshua's orange gumboots. "These do me on the ranch," Joshua answered. "Guess they'll do me here." As the sun called up the morning, spectators lined the road. A few of the young ones snickered and giggled at the gray-haired man in overalls and gumboots. Yellow Dog growled softly, but Joshua said, "Never mind now." Banners flew over the crowd. Peddlers sold sun lotions and sodas. Reporters floated overhead in balloons, snapping photos. The other runners started to flex and stretch. Joshua nibbled a slice of pumpkin. At 2 minutes till 8, the crowd grew quiet. Banners stopped flying. Peddlers stopped selling. Balloonists hovered in anticipation. At precisely 8 a.m., Mr. Manning sounded the starting gun. 8 runners sped swiftly past the cheering spectators. Joshua shuffled by waving, while Yellow Dog sniffed the ground to get his bearings. The third day, word got out that the sheep rancher wearing overalls and gumboots was leading the race. A crowd was at Platypus Pond to cheer him through Aunt Millie's pumpkin soup. The day after that, the news wire told the world about Joshua. Photographers from Paris to Hong Kong were at Wombat Flat to watch Joshua and Yellow Dog enjoy their pumpkin seed pudding. "Not too many pictures," Joshua said. "Yellow Dog is camera shy." The world was so busy watching Joshua shuffling along that the other racers were nearly forgotten. But Damien Dodgerel had not forgotten the $10,000 prize. When one of the balloons dropped down for repairs, Damien made a deal with the balloonist, half the prize money for a shortcut over the Wollongong. Joshua and Yellow Dog were within 20 kilometers of the finish line when Damien Dodgerel caught sight of them. "Set me down in front of them, on the other side of that wattle grove," Damien shouted. Just as the balloon was about to set down, a jeep half filled with pumpkins roared out of the grove. Aunt Millie had spent all night baking a pumpkin victory cake, and she was late for the last stop. As she swerved to miss the balloon swayed to miss her. Damien ended smack in the middle of mashed pumpkins. Aunt Millie ended smack in the middle of squashed cake. And the balloon ended smack on top of the Jeep. When Joshua and Yellow Dog arrived at the last check-in, Aunt Millie and the pumpkins were nowhere to be seen. Yellow Dog sniffed the ground and whimpered. Joshua sat down and pondered what to do without his pumpkin energy. As the sun sparkled through the eucalyptus trees into Joshua's head, he felt the energy racing through his body the way it raced through sun-filled pumpkins. Joshua got up and shuffled a dance in the dusty earth. Well, now, Yellow Dog, we've come here to run, and that's just what we're going to do. But this last bit of running we'll be doing on our own. Nearing the finish line, Joshua waved hello to the cheering crowds. The snickering boys and giggling girls were now clapping and jumping up and down. Yellow Dog held his head high. 2 days and 2 hours off the record, Mr. Manning exclaimed, running up with a silver trophy. The crowd squeezed around Mr. Manning, presented Joshua the check for $10,000. Joshua split the winnings with his fellow runners, even Damien Dodgerell. He kept only enough for new overalls and gumboots and gave the rest of his share to Rancher Woodley to repair the Jeep and to Aunt Millie for new cooking tools. Yellow Dog and I just came for the run, he said. It's been some years since Joshua Summerhays broke the record in the famous Koala K race. These days, all the other sheep ranchers in Blue Gum Valley steer four-wheel drives and fly airplanes to check on their sheep. But Joshua Summerhays still likes to run, with Yellow Dog trailing behind him. The end. Very good job listening today. I have a few questions to see how well we were paying attention. What are some of the verbs or action words you heard in our story today? Like running, I heard him say carry, training. Lots of different verbs in this story. What difference between Joshua and the other runners did you notice? Were there any differences between them? I noticed their clothing, like their shoes. He had the boots on. What he wore, his overalls. What they ate and drank was different while they ran. How they ran and why they ran were differences. Why did Joshua give away most of his prize at the end? He and Yellow Dog were in it just for the fun of racing, right? Just to race and run. How did Joshua refuel his body during the long run? What did he eat or drink? He ate anything with the vegetable pumpkins in it, right? And things made with pumpkin. What might happen if he did not eat to refuel his body during the race? He would probably become tired and weak, right? And not be able to finish the race at all. Very good job listening. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I do. Thank you for having me, and we'll see you again soon.